Good morning to all the kids who are watching. I'm glad you're tuning in. And I want to share a little bit with you this morning about what we're doing in our worship service. We're actually going to watch a short video in a moment, but I want to give some background. So you've probably learned a lot about Dr. Martin Luther King in school. And we remember him for the way he preached. And we have to remember when he was a pastor at a church in Birmingham, Alabama, the southern part of the United States was segregated. The blacks and whites were kept separate. And what that meant is if you wanted a drink of water, you would have to choose, that they called black people colored people in the South then. You'd have to choose a colored fountain or a white fountain. If you had to go to the bathroom, you had to find the right bathroom. There were restaurants that you couldn't sit in if you were black. And it extended to juries when there was a criminal conviction were all white, and police officers were often all white. And it created such a injustice for people, and Martin Luther King really organized people in nonviolent ways to try to come together and to bring about real equality. And he believed in equality because he read in the Bible that God created all of us together in the image and likeness of God. And if we're all created in God's image, then we are all equal in God's eyes. So that's just a little background. I want you now to just tune in, and we'll have the video over here as well, as we see some of the work that happened in the civil rights movement as Martin Luther King brought people together. So I'm going to turn us over to the video.
Luke 4:14-21. Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and news about him spread through the whole countryside. He was teaching in their synagogues, and everyone praised him. He went to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and on the Sabbath day went into the synagogue, as was his custom. He stood up to read, and the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was handed to him. Unrolling it, he found the place where it is written, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Then he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of everyone in the synagogue were fastened upon him. He began by saying to them, "Today this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing."